Size 14G question 3D, and in this question we want to solve the equation e to the power of x minus 5 plus 4e to the power of minus x. Right, so in this equation we need to do something with e to the power of x, because normally when we have something like e to the power of x, in some cases we take a factor of e to the power of x, and in those cases the equation becomes simpler, so we can solve by factorization. However, in this case, if we take a factor of e to the x, then it's not going to get simpler. So just to quickly show you, if we take a factor of e to the x, basically we have this term that doesn't have e to the x in it, so it's just going to be because here we'll have 5, and then here, sorry, 1, then the next term is minus 5 e to the power of minus x, and the next term is or e to the power of minus 2x. And as you can see, this is not simpler, right? So factorization doesn't help. Factorization is normally useful when outside is e to the power of x and inside there is no e to the power of x. So that's the whole point of factorization, but it doesn't work here. And another trick is multiplying the equation by e to the power of x. It obviously depends on the equation, so it's not going to work all the time, but sometimes that makes the equation simpler and we can use other methods. Now in this case, when we multiply the equation by e to the power of x, then the first term becomes e to the power of 2x, the second term is minus 5 e to the power of x, and the third term becomes just 4, because e to the minus x and e to the x, when we multiply them, we just get 1. And interestingly, this is now similar to the previous equations that I solved in previous videos. You can solve this by using change of variable, because this equation looks like a quadratic, because if we pay close attention, here the highest power is 2x, and then the next highest power is x, and then the third term is just a constant, doesn't have e to the power of x, which is exactly the same form as a quadratic. So we can use change of variable, and we introduce a new variable. Basically, let's say it's t, and that is equal to e to the x. So that means the first term becomes t squared, because remember that if you square, t squared is equal to e to the power of 2x, and that's exactly the first term in this equation. So this is equivalent to t squared. The second term is minus 5t, and the third term is 4. Right, so now that we have this equation in a nice form, we can factorize. So it's t minus 1 times t minus 4 is equal to 0. So two solutions, either t is equal to 1 or t is equal to 4. But remember, we need to find a value of x. So we just substitute each of these into this equation here. So the first equation is 1 is equal to e to the x. In this case, we can just take the natural log of both sides. So we have ln 1 is equal to ln e to the x. But remember that ln 1 is obviously 0. And on the other side, ln and e cancel each other out, because ln is the inverse function of e. So this is essentially equal to 0. So the first solution is 0. And the second solution, similarly, we have 4 is equal to e to the x, which means that we have ln 4 is equal to ln e to the x, but ln and e cancel, so we get x is equal to ln 4, and that's the second solution.